Volk versus Mobzar next, then retirement. What do you think? Yeah, maybe that. If Gene gets there in time, though, then you maybe want to take on Gene as well. I don't know. Volk, I think, is going to go till he loses again. He'll just keep going. Belt was promised to Silver 3,000 years ago. Mr. Blunt says it's seized up and face planted into the pavements. If Vadim Nemkov went to the UFC, would he be good? He would be good, yeah. At this point, how can you seriously argue GSP is over Volk? You can't anymore, man. You can't. Even Anderson Silva, Demetrius Johnson, you just can't. Quality of wins are not the same. Also, Paddy unironically beats Colby. Fuck him, yeah? Thank you for the 20 Mexican dollars. Yeah, he does. He probably subs in with a guillotine. El Disgusto versus Peyton Tabit. Thank you for the 2. Yeah. Yes. Do you have less faith in ILIA after the BRYCE fight? Yeah. Thank you for the 2. I don't think he does well at lightweight. I'm against ILIA now. And I don't even know if he would have beaten Volk if Volk didn't take it 2 months after the Makachev KO loss. It's funny how one card can change perspective on things. Thank you for the 2. Faded Ghost 710. BRYCE gets KO'd by Steve Garcia, then gets cut. All right. Sean Woodson got that Dragur build from Skyrim. He does. Bleak Falls Barrows, where he's training out of. BRYCE needs to get on cycle. He'd be unstoppable. I'm sorry, why is Volk getting criticized for beating a highly dangerous opponent with the youth on his side? Those first 2 rounds, he bullied Diego. Yeah, he did very well in the first round. And in the second round, he did a little less well, but he still did really good. Gets punched in the eye and still able to hold off a killer. Dude, fucking Volk's a monster, man. I just said a bad sentence at 6 a.m. with the birds chirping, and now everyone hates me. But that's how it is, man. I can't make a mistake in my comms, even after a great card of commentary. I just made a mistake in a sentence I said, where I was just like, you know, just throw it out. Oh, you know, Volk did his thing, you know, jabbing and inside low kicking, you know, good for him. I just did that once, and then, yeah, now I'm hated by all. It is what it is. I don't care. If you interview Jamal again, can you ask him why he falls so fatly whenever he gets dropped? No, I don't think I'll be asking him that. No, seems pretty out of order. Stink Stank Stinkaroo, MMA Guru, smells like doo-doo. Thank you for the 2. Volk versus DJ. Volk greater than DJ and GSP? I think so, yeah. I think so. Might as well do Pitbull versus Chandler at this point. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Thank you for the 2 Canadian dollars. You might as well. Fat. Thank you for the $2, dude. No, not Pitbull Chandler. F off with that, dude. Chandler can fight an upcoming lightweight prospect outside the rankings. F off. Might as well do Pitbull Chandler. Stop laying him up into other good matchups and fun fights. He needs to fucking... he owes the lightweight division in service. That's what he needs to do. I feel like your Silver might be him, though, line when doubting your BRYCE pick was one of the most ominous lines you've ever uttered. I feel like he's going to go all the way just because you said that. I know he might be him. I don't know. I just saw the Jordan fight, man, and it was just... how easily was he taken down over and over there? Just to shuck off BRYCE like he's nothing in the takedowns. It's funny, though, isn't it? How that works. And he's just swinging with everything he's got, and there's just no... There's no payoff. There's no tiredness to him. And, you know, squeezing with everything he's got on a guillotine. And he's still got the pop in his hands round 2. And it's just, I don't know. He just does, these fighting nerds, man. There seems to be no payoff. There's no weakness. There's no, that whole gym. There's no, everything where every other fighter, if they do things and overswing, they're going to get tired. Or if they squeeze so hard for a sub, their arms are going to gas out. Or if, you know, things like this. There just doesn't seem to be that with that one gym. It's crazy. Gene versus Josh Emmett next? Sure. Thank you for the $2. No. No, that's dumb as fuck. Don't do that. You see Portnoy dancing with the Yamakura? Yeah, an Israeli flag. Yeah, yeah. Fucking pussy-ass bitches, man. Thank you for the 5. Where's your fighter? Where's your fighter? Oh, get Gene to win for you. Where's yours? Lame asses, dude. Last night, no Pina kicks exceeded a level 5. Yeah. Why do you hate Volk? I don't. I just said 2 sentences in the 5th round where I just wanted to see a brawl at the end because I was overstimulated with the excitement of the rest of the card. And that's how it was. People keep trying to turn Colby against you in his Twitch chat. Dude, they always do that. We spoke about it in DMs. I was speaking to Colby in DMs about, dude, people are trying to get you against me in the Twitch chat all the time. What does he say when they do that? Could Bryce win a PFL tournament in his division? No. Thank you for the $2, Bryce. Maybe. But I don't know. It'd be tricky, man. It's hard to rate these other leagues nowadays because they haven't been doing well when they come to the UFC. Paddy has no path to victory against ARMAN, straight up. Doesn't he? He has no path to victory. I think people are retarded, man. ARMAN's been rocked. He's been wobbled. He's been nearly subbed. I don't know if he has no path to victory. Thank you for the 2, man. Regarding Volk criticism, wasn't referring to you. There's heaps of these Nelk generation fans saying he ran the entire... I've seen that. You know what I've also seen that's crazy? And I was never saying this, at least. I said a couple sentences of like, oh, come on, Volk. Don't be gay. And I get it was supposed to be a big moment where I roar and cheer for him. So I fumbled that, I guess. That was my bad. But I see a lot of like Lopez robbed, damage wins fights type shit. Hi, so jabs are counting as significant strikes now? Some of the comments are crazy. Hi, Fat, can you tell me happy birthday in coked up Connor voice? Happy birthday, me! Also, Lee. All right. Vampiric Leg's recent GFL video is incredibly accurate. Highlighted a lot of truths within the business. Also, shat on Ariel. You'll love to see it. I know Ariel really made all of them go over to GFL, not doing his research on how shit of a product it was going to be. Thank you for the membership, Gavin Cole. The worst part of the Bryce loss is all the low-level MMA pages simply saying deserved. Oh, my God, the guys. Hate it. Should Volk retire if he loses again? Shut up, dude. He's just won. Let it happen. I know I was a little bit like... I said, oh, yeah. In the reaction to the fight, I said an incorrect sentence or two at the end saying, jabbing and moving. All good, though. I should have been going, yeah! That Volk was winning, but... You know, it is what it is. Good win. Sean Facehugger Woodson. Thank you for the 2. Impression of Gene Silver getting hit by a bus. Bryce may have lost, but he still isn't a liar. Dude, there's nothing more painful than watching these people, this group of people getting a fucking complex and an ego about Bryce Mitchell losing when they don't have a single combat sport representative in their thousands of years on this earth. Well done, a Brazilian guy beat up Bryce, dude. Pissing me off. I tell you, I've seen him all over Twitter. Haha. LAZIs don't win. Never they win. All right. Fucking hell, man. Pissing me off, dude. It's all good. I know. Bryce versus Gene was kind of a win-win and a lose-lose. The mic moments with Bryce at the top would have been so funny, but I think Gene is more entertaining in the cage. Yeah. Gene has definitely got the more highlight reel potential moving forward, which is all you need. Always what you need at featherweight. How can I make my subs to send donos on live like you? I don't know, man. I talked to my subscribers for years before getting donations like this, man. This is just how it goes. It's not, you're already not going to have it happen. I didn't think about that when I was starting out. Just wanted to talk to someone. Just how good is Jared Gordon? Jared Gordon's a monster. He is. I mean, but Pimblett broke his foot in round 1. Let's not get it twisted. People forget, man. Did you see Volk's face after the fight? Lopez wins on damage. Yeah, but there's no telling what rounds that damage came in. You know what I mean? Where, you know, Volk had swelling under his eyes. It wasn't that bad. You know, but if it was DDP Strickland. And also, Volk clearly won. He did clearly win. Even in round 4, when Lopez was tracking him down after, like, hurting him to the eye, you know, he was still landing back good shots. You know, I mean, it's not like Lopez had this crazy dominant moment. Do you think Bryce has hit his ceiling? I think he needs to join a bigger gym to get better and quit the farm training camps. Well, he does. He is at a gym, and he does train with Dan Ige and stuff like that. So he does get working with certain fighters, but maybe. I don't know, though, man. Bryce has got different focuses, you know. I don't think he's a... He obviously wants to do well in his career, but he also has a whole farm that he needs to take care of at the same time, you know. I don't think you can just quit the farm because you've got life forms that require your, you know, you keeping them alive. I think Bryce let emotions get in the way. No, I don't. I think he got outdone. I think he just got outdone. But I'll tell you this, chat. I watched back the fight with tears in my eyes of Bryce Mitchell versus John Silver. And I tell you, dude, he went out for a second in the first guillotine. Yes or no in chat? He went out for a second in the first guillotine. And I think after that, he was in a little bit more of like a heart thumping like crazy, little bit panicky, like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened to me? He's back on the feet and his heart's thumping, and he got a little tired, and Gene started being able to push him around. I think he went out in the first guillotine and then kind of came back to, yeah, he was gasping for air when he got out of it. I think so as well. Even though he was fine before that on the feet, he was doing all right. He got hit with some shots, of course. But I do think he got put out for the guillotine, in the guillotine for a moment. And then maybe because he went out, he went a little limp, and then the grip kind of shifted, you know? Sometimes when you're resisting the choke, you add to the pressure of it. But yeah. No, I don't think Gene could have finished him whenever he wanted, or he would have done. I think Gene was just being like, okay, let me just draw out a few of the takedown attempts so he doesn't get a good grip of me early when we're dry. You know what I mean? First round, Bryce did all right on the feet, but it's just he doesn't have the same, don't get hit by Bryce. You know, you're not going to fear that in a fight. So, I don't know, man. Bryce can do well, but he runs into an ILIA Tapuria or a Gene Silva, and it's all of a sudden not so good. I mean, think about it like this. Bryce Mitchell has 3 pro losses. Josh Emmett on short notice, he got chinned by Josh Emmett, one of the hardest punchers in the division. Other than that, ILIA Tapuria and Gene Silva are his losses. He hasn't lost other than that. So he's good, but he's not future GOAT. You know what I mean? That's what he's running into a lot of the time, by the looks of things with Gene Silva anyway. Am I delusional in thinking Paddy legit has a really good chance with almost anyone at the top of lightweight you looked at? Listen, I think you're absolutely correct. Even my dad messaged me today and said, how good did Pimblett... Do you want to know what my dad's reaction to the Paddy Pimblett fight was, chat? I'll tell you what my dad's reaction to the Paddy Pimblett fight was. Thank you for the $2. What's with that last haircut you got? Oh, shut the fuck up, man. Fucking F word. Let me tell you what my dad's reaction was to the Paddy Pimblett fight. It's very geezerish of him, actually. I just read it again. When we need to stop talking, lad? Yeah. He said this. He said, bloody hell. Just watch the Pimblett Chandler fight. Paddy's on fire. Best I've seen him. Classic, dude. There you go. Little update for me there on a message. Bloody hell. Just watch the Pimblett Chandler fight. Paddy's on fire. Best I've seen him. Fair enough, lad. 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 Paddy versus ILIA almost seems too good to be true with Baldy in charge. Yes, it does. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Because Pimblett is going to be ranked like number 7 at the end of the day. So he's not going to get that fight. I think they'll do Pimblett Poirier. Impression of Happinace comforting Paddy after 314. Confronting Paddy after 314. Also, do you think Paddy can beat Poirier? I do. I've already read these, though. Gee, man. What you doing, man? We gonna put you on a shirt. Paddy more dominant in Islam. Beats Gaethje in 3 as well. Dustin and arguably Charles too. Also, Volk's top 3 all time now. He is. He's up there. Volk versus, I think he could be good. I think Pimblett can be really good. And Pimblett, if he doesn't blow up and actually commits, listen, he's got to the top of the lightweight division. What an English Chad Paddy Pimblett is. He's got to the top of the lightweight division whilst not really taking it that serious and getting fat in between fights. So if he just locks in for a bit and actually takes it serious, I reckon he can like improve even more vastly, because he didn't even balloon up too much after this one either, after the last win over Bobby Green. So he looks like he's taking it serious. Still can't believe Woodson got kicked from ATT for anal probing his teammates to extract crucial data. All right, enough. Gene Jubronx Silva. Paddy versus Gaethje, thoughts? It'd be a banger. It would be, but again, I don't think so. I don't think this is what's going to happen next. Thank you for the $2. I just don't see those fights going down. I'd like it, but I think they do Pimblett versus Poirier. I think Gaethje versus ARMAN is a fight that they're going to do. I think Gaethje, chat, he doesn't, you know when he was turning down McGregor? when he was like on his way up in the first place, because Gaethje's very title fight orientated. He will rather challenge a top 1 or 2 in the world than fight a Pimblett. Like, that's just going to be his mindset. He doesn't care that Pimblett's a big name, you know? He just doesn't care that he's a big name. Paddy did it for the Anglian. Okay. Impression of PADDY'S confronting Paddy after 314. Also, do you think Paddy can beat Poirier or Gaethje? Yes, I think he can. I think he can beat those guys because he's fucking massive. Is he not massive? Is Pimblett not fucking massive for the division? Maybe the unranked guys are just bigger than the ranked guys, but I thought Chandler was like a little dense ball of muscle for the division, but dude, Chandler looked like a fucking featherweight out there. Yeah, he's bigger than Colby. He is, man. Paddy versus McGregor press conference impression. Lad, eh? Conor needs to stop sniffing, lad. Thank you for the 2. If Paddy and Islam go the distance, Paddy wins on damage. I don't know, dude. I think Paddy's really good, though. Arman would victimize Paddy. You can't say that about anyone just going to victimize Pimblett. They could beat him, but it's going to be competitive. Do you think Paddy versus Max would make a good match? Yes. Thank you for the $3 Australian. Yeah, I think it would, but that's not going to happen. And I don't... Here's the thing about Pimblett versus those guys. Those guys are going to be fighting soon in June or July. And I don't want to see Pimblett fight them in August or September. I don't want him to wait until that happens, you know? If Paddy beats someone below the age of 35, I'll give it to him. I still think he stinks on ice, despite a sick ground game. Also, ILIA chins Charles in 1. So... Chandler gets out of the Oliveira rematch relatively unscathed, goes 5 rounds with him and nearly finishes him in the 5th round. Now Pimblett dominated him, he's washed. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Just a few months ago, Chandler went 5 rounds with Charles do Bronx. Into the 5th round, he did a good 5th round. He won the 5th round. Nearly finished Charles Oliveira. Came out of the fight somewhat unscathed, other than getting, what, wobbled a few times? Cracked a couple times and had to get the center again? Now he's washed because Pimblett fucking dominated him the whole fight. Come on, man. Here's why Pimblett does well, even though he doesn't look as good as some of the other fighters at lightweight. Every other lightweight, what do? They step straight into the pocket, man. That's why Chandler does well against him. Oliveira goes straight into the pocket. Straight into the pocket, trying to get a hold of you with a clinch shot or something. Gaethje goes straight into the pocket. Poirier goes straight into the pocket. Whereas, Pimblett stays at range. He's like a little karate stance at range, and he's kicking low at the leg at range, and very different, man. It's a very different style matchup. I'm not saying that this means that he now dominates the top guys. But, you know. I think Paddy's pretty good. And Chandler has no ability. He has no, he has his way of fighting. And if you know how to deal with it and can game plan against it, he's kind of useless. And that's what we saw in that fight. You know, he just sort of loads up and steps through to try and land on his opponent. If you're not there in front of him, he can't get to you as well. And that's what Pimblett kind of exposed with his game plan. Paddy is the real deal, but DP touches him up. I don't know, dude. Dustin Poirier gives up his back a lot. And Pimblett's huge. Pimblett's like Oliveira's height, but denser. It's crazy. Like, he's Makhachev. He's built like Makhachev. But maybe bigger. Maybe not as much mass. But he's got wider shoulders, thinner hips, you know? Pay-per-view's expensive, dude. I owe you. Impression of gay Conor. Somebody fucking sniff a line out me gooch, mate. I don't know. Thank you for the 2.